Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 151 of Canada Got Soul, which will now be renamed as Kuwalla Got Soul for this special episode. We got all the boys here hanging out. Let's get it going.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome to True to Size. We are a weekly podcast centered around the wild world of sneakers. I will be your host today. My name is Lawrence Hopkins, and I am joined by the rest of the quarantine at Canada Got Soul, Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Kuwalla.
Mr. Alvin Martinez.
Kuwalla.
Wow, look at these guys go. And this one's a really bad one. Recently, it's been a ton of très jolis homies from the province of Quebec. Weren't sure if we should keep it going, but we said, what the heck? Did you know that koalas are not actually bears? I didn't, but I also know that nobody cares.
Hey.
His shots are insane. And his fits, always hard. Say bonjour to our homie, Mr. B. Menard.
I like that. What's up? That was good.
That was good, bro.
When I said nobody cares that koalas aren't bears, I just meant, in essence, everyone calls them koala bears, but they're not koala bears. Yeah. They're actually a marsupial. I did my research. Brandon, thank you for being here.
And they will fuck you up.
Yeah, they're not nice. They're rude. Brandon, it's very gracious of you to join us. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on, boys.
Of course. So we do have an awesome show for you guys this week. It is, by the way, our last show of 2020. We're going to take a break for the holiday season. Yeah, no pressure, Brandon. We're going to take a break for the holiday season to recharge and recover from this stupid-ass year. But we're going to make sure we end the year off on a good note. We've got the homie Brandon Menard joining us from Montreal. So we're going to play some games, learn some stuff about the brand that he reps hard AF, and close off with an awesome announcement from Brandon himself. But first, Joel.
Whoosh, fire round.
Yes, the fire round. We like to start every show with a quick hitting question from you, our listeners, and this week's question comes from Harrison Koo. And he says, so if you'll remember a couple weeks back, he was going for the three-peat of fire round questions, and he got to 2, and then he just fell off, like he just disappeared. So his fire round question starts with, this is from a couple weeks ago that he sent this in, it just was in the queue. He says, I'm heated because I only thought of this now when I lost my possible fire round three-peat, but I thought of a fire round question for y'all nonetheless. He says, has anyone ever asked you what your favorite non-sneaker footwear brands are? So stuff that's not your typical Nike, Jordan, some other footwear, but non-sneaker. He says, one of mine is Clark's, specifically their desert boots and wallabies for their craftsmanship and quality, and also the kind of obscure love story they have with hip-hop. I may or may not be looking at maple suede wallabies while I type this. He says...
Oh.
Well, now it's been a couple weeks, so we have to know if Harrison did end up buying those maple suede wallabies. But Joel, why don't you start us off? What's maybe your favorite or just a brand that you mess with, non-sneaker footwear brand that you mess with?
That I mess with, non-sneaker. Okay, so it can't be Vans.
Not Vans.
Recently, I picked up a pair of Doc Martens.
Oh yeah,
and like I was so fascinated with this color, like even back in the day, like in my high school days and late elementary high school days, and they were the cherry red, like it's like an ox blood is the color of it.
Nice.
It's like an ox blood color, and I was so fascinated with the color. You got your cherries and whatnot, but they're just not the same. And like, these kind of shoes, like I remember, like I remembered everything about it and like the ones that you would find at Journeys, the one that you would find at like, at the regular, shoe stores in the malls, or just the regular Docs, they weren't the same. So I did some research on it and I found out that they were considered vintage Doc Martens. And I looked into it even more and more, and I'm like, fuck, these are so expensive, man. So I waited until Sense dropped I think they were going for like 40 off or something like that.
Damn.
And that's when I pulled the trigger on them, and I got them in hand, and I was like, shit, these are so beautiful. Like the leather, the made in England kind of leather, right? It's the English leather. The other ones, the ones you find at Journeys, they're made in like China or whatever, right? But these ones were made in England, so the craftsmanship's in it and everything, right? The leather's like plush and whatever. But the one thing that I hate about it is breaking them in.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like that kind of leather is that hard leather, and it's like
It's a high
it
quality.
digs into your like your Achilles, like that piece of skin you got there. Man, I had like so many friggin' like
Blisters
scars, like
and
yeah,
scabs
blisters, just trying to break them in, but they're getting there, man. But yeah, that's my story. But yeah, that's the kind of shit man.
Doc,
Docs.
the Doc Martin doctor over here. All right, I'm gonna go next because I feel like Alvin might choose the same shoes as me, so I'm gonna make sure I go first. My choice is I'm gonna go with Cole Haan because Alvin's shaking his head. I don't know if I stole from him or not, but I don't do a whole lot of dressing up, and even if I do dress up, I still try to wear a pair of sneakers just because why not? If I can still make it look classy, it doesn't really matter. But I do own a couple pairs of dress shoes, and they're all Cole Haan. And the way that I got introduced to Cole Haan was because Nike used to own Cole Haan, and they made dress shoes with the Lunar Lawn outsole. So they're super comfortable, super squishy. I don't know if they still make them because I don't think Nike still owns Cole Haan. So it was a little bit of time ago, but yeah, I picked up like a pair of like Volt. It's very close to Volt dress shoes, of course, with like a gray Lunar Lawn sole, and I was like hooked. I was like, these are super awesome. They've got like the wingtip, they're suede, like they're super high quality shoes. At the time, like way back, you could find them at the Cole Haan outlet for mad cheap. So I think I paid like $70 for a pair of like $300-400 dress shoes. And then soon after that, I picked up a non-lunar pair. But this time it was full 3M. It's a full 3M dress shoe with a wingtip. It's the stupidest thing. It's the brightest 3M. So I'm assuming Nike had some influence in making those as well. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Cole Haan. Really high quality stuff. The lunar, what's it called? The Lunar Grand, is super comfortable. Big fan. So yeah, I'm going to go with Cole Haan for me. Alvin, what about you? I hope I didn't steal yours. I apologize.
No. That was gonna be my honorable mention, just because, yeah. But I'm going with Timberland.
Yeah.
Timberland. Shit. Love that 6-inch boot. Sorry, bro.
He just went full Bernard on you, man.
Yeah.
No, his alternate.
I know, man.
Yeah. Shit. But yeah, that 6-inch wheat boot is ridiculous, bro. And it's honestly a staple. I probably had a pair in my closet for
Can't go wrong.
years and never wore them, but I had to have them in my closet just because. It's that look when you want to look like Jay-Z or look like you're from New York or whatever.
Dead ass.
I recently found out that they make steel-toe boots in the 6-inch.
Really?
They call it Timberland Pro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pro.
What do they call it?
It's Timberland Pro. It's like their Pro line, and it's like all they have a steel toe on them or like aluminum or whatever. It's a safety assured boot, but it looks like the 6-inch.
Yeah.
Oh, I might scoop that.
It's not like I'm copying for sure. It's the same price as a regular boot. Might as well get that and be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
man.
then
Kick some shins.
is better and shit. And then the insole is like antimicrobial or whatever, so it shouldn't stink, but it probably will with my foot because it's nasty. But yeah, that's going to be an investment I'm going to have in the near future. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Timberland for sure.
I thought you were gonna go personally, just for you. I thought you were gonna go with a different boot brand and go with Red Wing Boot Gang over there.
Honestly, I thought about it, but Red Wings didn't like the swag isn't hyping. It isn't lasting as long as a Timberland boot.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like Drake went back to the Timberland boot after he was fucking with Red Wings. So
that's facts. And Drake Drake ends all arguments, so I agree with you.
Yes.
Brandon, what are we thinking? It sounds like I don't know for sure, but it sounds like Alvin stole your choice.
He
But,
did. He did.
What
He
do you
did
got?
my first choice. I had a second choice, but it's not the best one. I was gonna make an honorable mention of Crocs, but I'm gonna have to go with Crocs because I have a pair. I have a pair at home. You know? They're comfy for at home when I'm cooking,
Yo, straight up,
just hanging
bro.
out. They're comfy. Like I don't
And they
care.
have those collabos.
Yeah, they have some crazy collaborations, but as many people might say a lot of stuff about it, might talk shit about them, but they're still like $1 million bajillion dollar company, and everybody wears them. I have a pair. Mine are chewed up now by the dog, but I have a pair. It's still comfy.
Damn, I can't believe we didn't even make it 15 minutes into the episode, and Brandon had to bring up his Crocs. Damn, thought we might make it through. Oh well.
Nope.
Harrison, thank you so much for the question. If you would like to submit a question for the fire round and have us answer it on the pod, please shoot us a message on Instagram or email us at canadagotsole@gmail.com. Next up, the CGS picks. Each week we all pick an upcoming sneaker to analyze, dissect, and give our thoughts on. Then we decide if it's poop, scoop, whoop-de-whoop, or Alvin's trademarked phrase,
C'est très joli.
Si, senor. So, because we didn't do the CGS picks last week, I'm feeling like I missed something. So I do kind of need to go first just to like get it. I need to get it off my chest because like I feel a hole in my heart for not doing the CGS picks last week. But my pick this week is coming next week. I'm very excited for it. We've been waiting all year. We've been waiting 15 or 10 years probably, to be honest. It's the Kobe 6 Protro in the Grinch colorway. So everyone knows what the shoe looks like. You've got like the slime green all over, midsole, upper, in lining, heel counter, outsole, tongue, laces, everything. Black swoosh. The Kobe 6 had the like snake skin detailing on the upper, which works perfectly for this colorway and this theming. You've got the red Kobe. I think it's a chef. I don't remember what Kobe. Oh, what's the Kobe logo called? Damn it, I can't remember. Does anyone know? I'm really mad. I know the name, and I'm going to think of it later. The Kobe logo is red on the tongue. If you're listening to this, I apologize. Send us an EEE. I'm sure everybody's screaming at their headphones right now. But yeah, so the shoe is incredible. I slept on it when it came out for the first time in 2010. I picked up the LeBron instead that year, the LeBron 8, which, by the way, that whole year was
So
like...
did I.
Oh, Brandon has the name
I
of
have
the...
it.
What is it?
Well, I have my phone quick just in case you guys talk about shoes I can't picture in my head. The
Perfect.
Protro I knew about, so I looked up what the logo is. The name is, I really hope I'm not screwing this up. It's Sheath?
Yeah, that's it. The Kobe Sheath.
Oh.
That's correct. Yeah,
Sheath.
I knew
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, in 2010, I picked up the LeBron 8 instead of the Kobe 6. By the way, one of the best Christmas packs ever, along with the KD, I want to say 3, which was the yellow 3M KD 3, which was an insane shoe. But yeah, so the shoe's coming back. The Grinches are coming back next week. It's Christmas Eve. They release for $180 USD, so likely around 230, 240 Canadian. So not too awful. I really want a pair. So if anyone listening to this has any strings they can pull, let me know. I don't usually ask for favors, but I know that Kobe's in 2020, especially Christmas Kobe in 2020 at Christmas, is going to be impossible to get, and I'm already preparing myself to pay resale. But yeah, love the shoe. This is a whoop-de motherfucking whoop. This may be my last, well, hopefully is my last pickup of 2020. So let's go out with a bang. Whoop-de mother effing whoop for me. Joel, what do you got for us?
All right, so what I got is the Kith by Nike Air Force One Low, New York City. Yeah, so these drop December 18th, Friday. So it dropped yesterday for those that are listening.
Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. You slept. You slept on 16 pieces of this whole collection. I don't know if you guys seen pictures, but you got Jewel's camera. You got a whole Dipset, like, like modeling their gear. But yeah, these shoes in particular, it's the white Air Force One Low. On the outside, on the outer part of the foot, that's the lateral, no?
Correct.
That's the lateral. The lateral side, you got the orange. It's like a Taiwan, like the the Taiwan
Yeah.
Air Force One from like '01, I think.
The gradient
But it's
swoosh.
that gradient swoosh that fades out to the back. It's a fat swoosh. That's in orange. You got your NYC on the heel, on the outer heel with the swoosh, the branded logo. You got the blue, icy blue sole, and on the medial side of the foot, you got it in the Knicks blue. So it's
Crazy.
two colored swooshes, one on the outside, one on the inside. Super clean shoe. You can't
Great
go
shoe.
wrong with kid drops, man. Like, and you're gonna know that this leather is gonna be super supple. But yeah, man, just like everybody else, I'm probably gonna catch an L on these. Unless you got that, that Kith link, that
Yeah, for
Kith
real.
hookup. But yeah, man,
Now,
c'est très joli for me.
Très joli.
The
Yeah,
You
man.
can see the tongue. The tongue has it's like Rin Kith. I'm looking at it now. It's a gradient from orange to blue, and it has
Yeah.
like the swoosh going through it.
it's so
like that.
Yeah.
hard, man. Like
Crazy, man, crazy.
Yo, Ronnie and his details, bro.
for real. Like it's
Yeah,
hard. I
yeah.
can't think of anyone in the game who has been as consistent and as like just hitting so heavy on every release as Ronnie. And I'm not even a big Kith guy. Like I'm not. Like self-proclaimed, not a huge Kith guy. I own very few pieces, but it just seems like every time he comes out with a collection, it's like he goes balls
Yeah.
to the wall. Like the
Yeah.
even just the product shots for this, doing it at Madison Square Garden with Dipset.
Yeah.
Like who can
For real.
just do that? Nobody can just do
Yeah.
that. Nobody can pull those
Seriously.
strings and do a photo shoot at center court of Madison Square Garden during a pandemic with Dipset. He just pulls the
Yeah.
strings. He does his thing. The apparel in this collection is like insane. I was talking to Calby earlier today, and he sent me like a close up of the orange hoodie with the swooshes all over and the box logo with the swoosh through it. And I was genuinely upset, like mad that he sent it to me, because I could have gone my whole week without even knowing that piece existed. It wouldn't have showed up on my timeline.
Yeah.
But now I've seen it because he sent it to me in my DM, and I have to try for it now because he showed me. And I was just really
And
mad
it's
that
orange. too.
yeah, and it's orange. It's
Yeah.
so cool. So I'm gonna probably send the invoice to him if I make the purchase because I'm really frustrated. But yeah, Joel, that's a great pick. I love this whole collection.
For real.
Alvin, what are you dealing with this week?
This week, I am dealing with the Nike Air Force One Low Valentine's Day for 2021. So this is also set to release alongside a Dunk Low that's rumored to be red and pink. I don't think it's an SB though. It might just be a Nike Sportswear one. But man, these Air Forces, the simplest way they could make a Valentine's, and probably the best way they did it.
Hit it out the park.
Banger.
It's got so the midsole and the outsole are sail, and then they've got like a tumbled leather swoosh that's also sail. And what does it for me is the heart patch
So
that
easy.
has a mini swoosh in it.
Yeah,
You didn't need to put the mini swoosh in it, and I would have still liked it. And like,
the white one. Yeah.
man, like
Hey, the white
they
cereal.
absolutely murdered it. Like, and again, like the simplest thing, but like for me, it's that little detail that got me, and it's that little swoosh in the heart. And I'm a sucker for small details like that. So I'm gonna definitely take an L, but because I know I'm gonna take an L, these are a whoopty motherfucking scoopty whoopty
Hey.
whoop. But yeah, I'm gonna take an L, but I'll be happy. These are sick, man.
Alvin, I was gonna say these shoes are kind of like they embody you because you also have a mini swoosh in your heart, don't you?
Definitely.
We all got a little bit of swoosh in our heart, I think. Someone who surprised me with their pick this week, speaking of swooshes in their heart, this guy doesn't necessarily have a swoosh in his heart. He's got a couple stripes in his heart, but his pick really shocked me. Alvin sent it to the chat, and I was like,
What?
Brandon chose this? Are you sure that you didn't pick this for him? Brandon,
No.
what do you got?
The Nike Sakai Vapor Waffle. I called it the Green Bay Packer colorway. I'm guessing in the Nike world, there's probably a certain colorway for that name for it. But yeah, I don't know why. I love those. I love that sole. I love the look of them. I tried to get the black and white ones. Tried to go really simple. I didn't end up, and resale is expensive right now, so I decided to wait on them. But if like I feel like every single color that they've taken out lately is really nice.
You
They're
like
really
that
good.
talking soul at the back? You're a fan of that?
Yeah, I don't know why. I find it so cool. I don't know. I don't know how comfortable they are. I've heard from a few people they fit like a little bit weird, but they're comfy. But I don't know, that sole just looks weird, looks different, and Adidas hasn't been doing that kind of stuff lately, except for their AZX collection. They've done some pretty wild stuff there too. But like I don't know, that sole that I saw that sole like I feel like I saw it like a while ago, like in like a leak or something,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique shoe. It's not for me, I'll say that, but it's gotten really good reviews from people who do own it. Like people seem to really like people who have purchased it or have a pair, really seem to like it. So maybe there's something there. I don't get it, but maybe there's something there. It's a more fashionable shoe that I'm ready for, I guess. It's why we got Brandon choosing that shoe, the more fashionable of the bunch.
Fashion.
I tried to switch it up, not to pick something simple in Adidas. I tried to switch it up on you guys.
You definitely shocked the world. Well done. Next up, this week in Kicks, this is the part of the show where we would discuss the current headlines and happenings in the world of sneakers. And we are going to shift away from swoosh for a second, and we are going to talk a little bit about Three Stripes, because Adidas is giving a new NBAer a signature sneaker. It's coming kind of soon. To me, at least. So Adidas is expanding their signature sneaker line by giving one of their most high-profile athletes their very own model. So it was announced via his own Twitter, and Trae Young will be getting his own signature sneaker line with the Three Stripes in the fall of 2021. So Trae signed to Adidas the year he got drafted in 2018, and he's now signed an extension with the brand that will include his own signature sneaker line. The shoe is said to be called the Trae Young 1, and the superstar is said to be very involved in the process of bringing the shoes to life. Just two thoughts from me about that. First of all, I can't believe they didn't give Trae Young a Young 1 collaboration at all. Like, it just seems, how could, like,
sound like it.
You really missed the boat there. Like, it seems
They're
like
a bit bulky.
The Young
They're
1,
bulky for basketball.
they are, but even just a lifestyle, like let him design a colorway. Like the Trae Young 1 should have been a Young 1.
Yeah.
But anyways, and secondly, Adidas must have changed their policy, because I remember, I think it's when I worked at SVP, Seafood Play Sports, an Adidas rep came in and spoke to us, and he said that typically before getting a signature line, you have to have been with the brand for at least 5 years. So I don't know if Adidas is now fast tracking that in order to maybe create some more buzz and energy, or just expand their roster a little bit, because it's been a little bit stagnant lately. But it's exciting for Trae Young for sure. He's obviously he's kind of like the Luka Doncic of Atlanta. So I mean, if you have somebody like that, a personality like that, and they want a signature line, you say, hell yeah, let's do it. So good for Trae Young and good for Adidas.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he comes up with, just because like all their other athletes, like the Hardens have been pretty dope in terms of like aesthetics. Same thing with the Spider Mitchells, like those have been pretty dope too. So I'm kind of like excited to see what Trae Young comes out with.
For sure. He's got a unique personality and a unique look, so it could be really cool. I'm excited, like you said, to see it. Hell yeah. All right, next up, previously in Kicks, this is the part of the show where we review our latest pickups and recap the latest happenings in our sneaker lives. And we are going to start with Joel this week. Any pickups for you in the last 7 days, my friend?
No, that is a negative.
Nothing for Joe Dooney.
No pickup.
Alvin, I think you've had a half-decent haul. What about you? Anything for you?
Yeah, we did all right. So first thing I want to talk about is someone sent us a book in an email. And it was from the author. His name is Ryan Trembath. I probably said that wrong. But he wrote a book called Signature Sneakers. And from how much I've read, it's kind of like a history of all the brands that aren't swoosh. So it's pretty dope, man. Like I was reading a part of the Converse section, and it was telling, it was kind of telling of how Converse came up with the Chuck Taylor and who Chuck Taylor is and why they call it the Chuck Taylor. And me being a history major and not using my history major, I love history, man. So anything, especially sneakers, anything sneaker history, anything I don't know about in terms of why the shoe is named that and all that good stuff is dope to me. So I'm definitely gonna keep reading that book. But yeah, if you guys want to check that out, it's called Signature Sneakers by Ryan Trembath. And like, man, if you're a history buff and a sneaker buff, definitely take a look at that. And then on top of that, the family over at Adidas sent over not one but two pairs that I am highly, highly, highly thankful for.
Those.
The first pair was the Adidas ZX 6000 X-rays. Those are crazy.
Oh, shit.
The brother homie Jay talked about that last week on our episode, and
2 weeks
made
ago.
me fall in love with them even more after he spoke to us. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, just to say though, they do fit tight. Those ZX 6000s. I got a size 11, and my toes are like touching the end. And I'm gonna mess with it because I feel like a size 12 would still be too big. But
Yeah.
if anyone's trying to purchase, try to go half a size up on the ZX 6000. And then they also sent us the Mycin, because I looked up how to pronounce that shit. ZX 10,000s.
Yeah.
Man, yo, that's German made, and that leather is ridiculous.
What a
The
shoe.
details on the floral is orgasmic.
Those are wild.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
like those fit big. So if you're looking to cop those, go half a size down. So size up on the ZX 6000 and size down on the ZX 10,000.
Wow.
And look up our What You Got video on the ZX 10,000s because I make a fool of myself a little bit.
I want to piggyback off the Adidas content there for a second. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Adidas.ca started their Boxing Week sale early. They have an
Yeah, I got in trouble.
additional 50% off of all sale items on the website, which is dangerous, and I apologize for telling you that. Let me tell you how close I was to buying something this morning. I was on the website. I had a pair of the triple white, or I think it's like an off-white, like tan, the ZX 8000 in my cart. They're on sale. They're on sale for like, I think $90 plus 50% or 40% off. Or whatever, 40 or 50, something like that. $45 plus tax is what it came to. It came to like $54. They have free shipping. It was $54 in my cart. And I went through all the steps. I had it. Clicked pay, and I just entered my card number wrong. And I was like, "No, it's a sign. Chill." And I stopped. And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do it." But I was that close. And there's some really good stuff on there. There's some A to ZX stuff. So definitely check that out. I can't remember if it's 40 or 50, but it's a crazy deal nonetheless. They have stuff you can get for under $50, which doesn't happen. So
yeah.
Definitely check it out, and I will probably end up buying that pair. After I take L's on everything that I'm going to try and go for this week. I will probably end up making that my consolation prize.
The revenge pair.
Exactly. But I will go next, and I do have a pickup to report. So I met up with the once ghost, now found Net Magnetism. I linked up with him on Sunday. I did a nice little trade. So he listens to the podcast. So first of all, what up, Tong? Second of all, he hit me up. I hate when he hits me up because I feel like obligated to say yes. And he hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I keep hearing you talk about Strange Love SBs on the podcast. Do you want a pair?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, obviously I fucking want a pair, but like I'm broke as hell right now. It's Christmas. What are you talking about?" He's like, "I have a pair, size 8.5. Worn," and we all know what Tong's version of worn is. It means like
dead stock.
Yeah, man
Dead
tried
stock.
it on in a carpeted hotel room for 5 minutes or something. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm down. I just don't have any money at all, like literally nothing." So he was like, "Whatever, just like send some trades and we'll work something out." So dug in the closet, picked some pairs out, sent him the picture. He's like, "Yeah, it's dope. That's fine." Met up with him. Pristine shoe, great shoe. I'm glad that I own a pair. So yeah, Strange Love Dunk SB Lows for me. Shout out to Tong, shout out to Net Magnetism. Have a listen to last week's podcast episode featuring him, and watch last week's Stacks episode featuring him. True to Size 150 was dope, and he was really good on that episode. So shout out to him for both of those things. Brandon,
And check out his blog for blogs.
blog, all those things. Yeah, he's out on YouTube now. Yeah.
Vlog, all those. The interweb.
Exactly. Brandon, any pickups recently? It doesn't have to be within the last week, but just in recent memory.
Yeah, I got the new, I got the Yeezy Breads on the restock. I entered the raffle on Adidas and ended up winning. I already have a pair, so obviously I don't think this podcast I would be on it talking about shoes if it wasn't talking about Alex. Alex was able to bless me with a pair, with his pair a while back. So I entered the raffle with the goal of selling him that pair that I won if he didn't get him one for himself. So now I have two pairs, and he doesn't want one. So I have to find. I might. I offered it to him. I told him, you hooked me up with a pair that was probably the same standards. They probably went to the same school as Net Magnetism. He's told me they were used, but they weren't used, and he sold them to me for retail. So it was a big blessing back then. So thought I'd return the favor for an actual dead stock pair, and he said he was good. I think he got a pair. I'm not sure. So. I might have to gift my older pair and might keep those, or I might sell these to someone for retail. It's Christmas.
Sick.
Gotta
there you go.
Pay it forward.
Brandon's hooking up a
That,
podcast
and then
listener.
I actually got one pair. Yeah. Giveaway.
There you go.
So we also the other thing I got was a pair of the Adidas Response CL. I got a pair, the gray pair. It's coming in from Livestock. So I got
Sick,
those.
yo. I like those.
I got the pair that's like kind of like the Adidas green on the stripes. I got that from S&S a few weeks back, and I love the shoe. Really comfortable shoe, really simple shoe too. So nothing too crazy. So I just it's like a cool gray a little bit. We want to change it to Nike colors. It's a cool gray.
If you want to, swoosher.
It's a nice gray. It's simple. So I thought, why not?
Damn, everyone had a good week.
Swooserize it. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
And Joel was just chilling, which is also fine. That's going to be me now for a couple of weeks at least, after I have to pay resale for the Grinches.
Same.
Next up, thumbs up, thumbs down. In this part of the show, we give our opinion on various sneaker-related topics with zero context or discussion. All we're allowed to say is thumbs up or thumbs down. And I couldn't remember if we had done this one before, but 'tis the season nonetheless, so we will revisit it. And it is supposed to snow tonight in the GTA. I'm sure that Quebec has already experienced several feet of snowfall because they get hammered over there. But it is supposed to snow in the GTA tonight, so it makes us revisit this one. Thumbs up, thumbs down to sneaker boots. I am thumbs down. Alvin.
Down.
Joel.
Down.
Bernard.
What kind of boots are we talking about?
Sneaker boots. They're literally called sneaker boots. It's a sneaker turned into a boot.
Okay, down.
Doesn't even know it, but it doesn't sound very good, and you're correct. Next up, NSR. We talk about sneakers a lot, so in this weekly segment, we're going to take 30 seconds out of the show to discuss something completely irrelevant from the world of sneakers. And I saw this popped onto my timeline recently, so I need to ask you guys because I was stumped when I saw it. The question is, you're only allowed to have 3 apps on your phone, not including the ones that come already installed. What are those 3 apps that you have? Let's start this really hard question with Alvin.
Instagram, WhatsApp, and Uber Eats.
Oh, Uber Eats with the kicker there.
Oh, yeah.
Joel, what about you? 3 apps on your phone, aside from the ones that come already installed. Oh.
WhatsApp, Instagram, and McDonald's.
Man skipped Uber Eats. He's like, it's got to go straight to McDonald's. I'm going to go with, same as you guys, I'm going to go Instagram. I'm going to go the TD app. And I'm going to go Facebook. Let's just do Facebook. Brandon, 3 apps on your phone aside from the ones that come already installed. What are you going with?
I'm going to go with Instagram, like everybody. The Adidas app. That's what I spend a lot of time on, just scrolling through. And the Messenger app for Facebook.
Oh, true.
I talk to a lot of people just through there, oddly enough.
There you go. All right, that
We're
was
using
about
it right now.
that was
Good
about yeah, we
Yeah.
are using it right now. This segment, by the way, was brought to you by the Facebook Messenger app. Thank you. #ad. Next up, errors, edits, and e-messages. We're pretty smart guys, but from time to time we make mistakes. So if you catch us slipping, hit us in the DM and we'll let the world know that we goofed. And a fire round contributant from a couple weeks back, Zach, wants to send an and let us know that his last name is pronounced Jaimes, not James. It's Jaimes, I believe. So I guess it's maybe, what is that, Spanish maybe? Jaimes, not James. I will say we'll have to not James.
Could be
Zach.
Swedish.
Zach, let us know the origins of that name. I would like to know. And also Jay Laus, because we didn't do EEE last week. Jay Laus from the episode that he was on. He didn't get enough talking in on the episode he was on. He had to add one more thing.
Yeah.
And he said, an EEE, the ZX 8000 is equal to the Air Max 1 OG, because we were trying to do like the comparison of like what it would be. And I thought maybe Chicago 1. He says Air Max 1 OG. And that was also echoed by On Air with Mike D. He agreed. I almost said On Air with Mick D's.
Shout out to Mike.
Joel's got me thinking McDonald's now. All right. The moment that we've all been waiting for, the reason that we are here, it is time to jump ship and talk strictly about Menard. Brandon Menard. For anyone listening, this is like
Time to turn off the pod.
this is like an Uncle Scott, Sean Collard thing, where everyone, including me last week, was so sure that it was Bernard, but it's actually Brandon Menard, just like Sean Collard. Everyone thinks it's Scott. So we're going to get everyone's name straight. We're going to keep it going. But Brandon, once again, thank you for being here. We do appreciate it. We're going to get to the one of the reasons that you're here later, but the reason that you're here right now is for 21 questions. And essentially how this works, Brandon, is you have 21 seconds to answer 21 questions. There are no right answers, but there are also no wrong answers. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yes,
question.
sir. Let's go.
Question number 1: air or boost?
Boost.
Question number 2: crew socks or no
Double
shows?
pop. No shows.
Question number 3: red or blue?
Red.
Question number 4: pineapple on pizza?
Ew.
Oh my god. Question number 5: do you plug your nose when you jump in the pool?
Nope.
Question number 6: superstar or Stan Smith?
Superstar.
Question number 7: laces tied tight in a bow or hanging and loose?
Hanging and loose.
Question number 8: Adidas Yeezy or Nike Yeezy?
Adidas Yeezy.
Question
'Cause
number
I
9.
don't have any Nike.
Okay, fair answer. Question number 9: who is the Premier of Ontario?
Ford?
That's
Last name
correct.
Ford?
Yeah, Doug Ford. That is correct. I'm glad the question wasn't posed to me
I don't want to say
opposite.
I didn't know which one of the two.
One of them isn't alive anymore, so you got the correct one. Question
Exactly. I don't want to say the wrong name.
Question number 10: what is the last shoe you purchased for yourself?
The Adidas Response CL in a cool gray colorway.
That's correct. Question number 11: what do elves use to clean Santa's sleigh?
Magic eraser.
Santitizer.
Oh!
Question number 12: who is the most influential person in sneakers right now?
L Doggy.
Wow, I appreciate that. That's
do that.
not true, but thank you. Question number 13: what is your favorite kind of pie?
Apple.
Question number 14: glow in the dark or 3M?
3M.
Question number 15: EQT or ZX? I don't know why I said boost.
EQT.
Question number 16: would you rather have no taste buds or be colorblind?
No taste buds.
I don't even know where that one came from. Question number 17: which sneaker do you wear the most?
Any Yeezy 700.
Any Yeezy 700.
Oh, yeah.
Question number 18: which province is larger, Ontario or Quebec?
Oh, Ontario. Isn't Ontario? Yeah, Ontario.
The correct answer is Quebec. Quebec is the largest province in Canada.
See, they don't teach that in French school. They legit don't. I'm not even kidding.
Question number 19, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Correct. Question number 20, what is your number one grail?
Air Mags.
Ooh, that's a good one. I agree. Question number 21, would you rather receive your number one grail or 3 other pairs from your top 10?
Number one grail.
That is
I'd
also
like to get Air
correct.
Mags.
I agree. That is the correct answer. All right. You fared not too bad. You definitely made up some points with the last 2 answers there. But we'll have to review your score and give it to you later.
Yeah.
Next up, we are gonna run you through our newest game show, and this has been a really popular one. This game show is called Joel.
How much is that?
That's right. How much is that? I need to record Mike D doing it and just have like the soundboard button. Maybe we'll get on that next time. But so basically how this works, Bernard, is I'm just gonna do it on purpose now, is you have to tell me between the two shoes that I give you, which one has the higher last sold price on StockX in a size 9 dead stock. It's very simple, and I actually used some shoes that you talked about this week on True to Size. That's how quickly I do this. All right. The first one up on Alvin.
How much is that?
Is the Nike Sacai Vapor Waffle, Tour Yellow and Stadium Green, a.k.a. Green Bay Packers, versus the Adidas Yeezy 700, the Wave Runners. So, Joel wants to know,
how much is that?
There's the delay really makes it less climactic, but I promise you, once we are edited this, it will seem very good.
Like right there.
Yeah. What do we want to? All right, we want to know between the two, Brandon, which one has the higher sold price on StockX in a size 9? What do you think?
I think the Nike.
He thinks
Vapor Waffle.
The Nike Vapor Waffle, the unreleased pair versus the now classic Wave Runner 700. All right. As we do, we go with the one you did not choose first, and that is the Adidas Yeezy 700 in the Wave Runner colorway. The last sold price on StockX, dead stock in a size 9, is $650. They're not cheap. The price is rising.
Not cheap.
Yeah.
Not cheap.
Versus the pair that you chose to be higher than that, the Nike Sacai Vapor Waffle in Tour Yellow and Stadium Green, the Green Bay Packers colorway. Hopefully that gets adopted. Is last sold price, size 9, dead stock in a size 9. I think I said that already. Is $661. $11 more. Jeez.
Let's go.
I didn't think it was going to be that close.
Brandon 1, Bernard 0. All right. Next up.
Let's go.
It's going to get harder now. Next up. 4 pairs of the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the bread colorway. You just picked up a pair. Versus 5 pairs of the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the zebra colorway. Alvin wants to know,
how much is that?
So,
is this a sneaker podcast or a math quiz?
Both.
So, like
Jesus.
I said, 5
4
pairs of
pairs.
zebras or 4 pairs of breads. What are we thinking here?
The zebras are more expensive.
We're going with 5 pairs of zebras being more expensive. All right. As we do, 4 pairs of Adidas 4 pairs of Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the bread colorway. I will
That was
tell
a trick
you,
question. 100%.
1 pair, the last sold price in the size 9 dead stock, will run you $474 on StockX in the bread colorway, coming in at $1,836 when you multiply that by 4. I don't know how confident you're feeling now. The 5 pairs of Adidas. Go ahead.
I had that in mind. I had just about that price. I was just a bit over that. So
Okay.
now I'm terrified.
Now he's terrified. 5 pairs of Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the zebra colorway. So like I said, 4 pairs of breads, 474 times 4, 1836. 5 pairs of zebras, 430 times 5, 2,150. He got it, ladies and gentlemen. Big
Yes,
fist bump.
sir.
Big silent
Holy.
fist bumps all around. Well done. You went 2 for 2. That's a rarity. The last person to do that was all the way last week when Tong went 3 for 3. So it's been a week. Well done. So before we get into to Kuwalla, because there is a lot of things we want to know about that, we do the Solography, and we want to start the Solography just with a little brief history about what got you into sneakers in the first place.
This kind of sucks that you guys got my son on the podcast before I did, because now these stories are gonna look like the same. Jay, my son. I'm just kidding. So very, very similar story to Jay. It's like oddly similar. So I was working at Reebok before Jay. I worked there for 2 to 3 years before he started. And I would work at an outlet store off the island of Montreal, and then we would go to the warehouse, like the sorting center, to go do a warehouse sale. We set up all the tables. It was like a snake. You go down like through the tables.
Yeah.
It's like a snake. There's pairs and stuff. And there's one kid that worked at an Adidas outlet store, because the sales were cross-branded between Reebok and Adidas. So there's one kid that was from the South Shore. Everybody told me that he's the hot shot. He's the man to be.
He's the hot
in the
shot.
Adidas company right now. Yeah, and if you guys haven't guessed yet, it's Alex, aka Suji Cyperson.
He's the hot shot.
This is a long time ago. So I started speaking to him and started talking to him. We had a cash one beside each other, so we were like setting it up. And then before the sale started, we went through the warehouse, and I was a hockey guy, hockey player. I wore like big track pants. Like back then, I had no sense of fashion. I wore Reebok Zig-Tex. That's all I wore.
Ooh, throwback. Big
Old
throwback.
Yeah. So I still have a few pairs. So I tell him, I'm like, look, I don't know much about Adidas. Walk me through it. Tell me what's good, what's not good. Let's see. So he starts walking me through it. He starts pulling. He's like, what size are you? And I thought I was 11.5. Turns out I'm more of an 11, closer to 10.5 now. But
how come all of our
just like
Adidas
Jay,
guests don't know their size?
I know. Weird. So we're walking through, and he starts pulling out boxes and stacking them up in my arms. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs. He's like, "Hey, you got to get all these." I'm like, "I'm not getting all these, but yeah, sure." So he pulled out, the first pair I pulled out was a pair of ZX Flux Weaves. Nothing crazy about them. They're just gray, black and gray. I still have them. I'll never get rid of them because it was the first pair I pulled out. And it was like, it was cool. I was like, oh shit, like shoes aren't just for walking and running and working. They're, they look cool. This could be like a fashion piece, and that's when it started. The second pair I pulled out of the box was the Adidas ZX Flux Zeno, which Jay spoke so highly about. So Alex showed me that shoe. We both got it. I flipped. I walked out of there with 4 or 5 other pairs for all my friends because I sent them pictures during the sale. They all thought they were cool, so I got like pairs for everybody. I walked out of there with they're like it's like a special black box, so I had like a bunch of those black boxes. I walked out with about 3 or 4 or 5 maybe pairs for myself, and that's when it started. So what was cool about those sales is that back then they would do it so often, so I'd see Alex kind of often. And the first one was when he got his first pair of ZX 8000 Aquas. I remember he had paid like $400. I don't know if he wants me to say he had paid like $400 for them. And I was like, you are mental to pay that much money for shoes. And I didn't get it yet. But that was my start. And then ever since the ZX, the Zeno, it's been downhill ever since.
Downhill.
Fast forward 2 years later, we're at fast forward a couple years later, and Jay starts working at the store I was working at, and we do another warehouse sale, and I show him it was the ZX Flux Zeno. I'm looking at, they're right beside me right now. Whoop. They're right beside me right now. I'm looking at them. The same pair, but with a black sole, like the blacked out version, and Jay had that same feeling that I did. So it's really cool to see that we have like the same story. Me and Jay, kind of just a couple of years apart.
No, it's dope. That's
really, really interesting.
Like you
That's
mentioned,
how it all started.
He gave us like the other side, so it was cool to get the like the precursor to the precursor, like we like to call it. So what's kind of keeping you into sneakers now in 2020 when it's like impossible to even be into sneakers? It's so expensive. It's so hard to get stuff. It's a different game now. What's keeping you into it all these years later?
I like, well, before the whole virus, I really like the community aspect of it, right? I met all you guys through Instagram. Really really tried to come to the last shoe haul. Like that weekend, pretty sure I had a christening, but if not, like I was there. I had like one of my niece's christening, but I was gonna be there if not. And like that kind of sense of community is something that I always liked. So like we had like a small group of people here in Montreal that do like a cookout. So one of the sneakerheads worked at like a barbecue spot. So we'd always go, like, support him, wear cool shoes, have some barbecue. He made like sick ribs and wings and stuff, and we go eat there, and we meet up, 20, 25, 30 people sometimes, and
Man.
that was fun. Like the community aspect, the camp outs and stuff like that. That's what I always liked. The events too, like the sneaker events too, were always fun. So always fun to meet new people. That's what I always liked, and I kind of followed the hype a little bit with like all the Yeezys and stuff. But I also have a lot of shoes that like if I had an estate sale right now, they wouldn't be worth much, and that's what I like about it. That's it's shoes that I love that not necessarily everybody else loves. That's what I like about it.
No, 100%. Like we
So
mentioned
it's
on
like
Stacks,
personal
it's
taste.
yeah, it's like it's the story makes the shoe. It's not the shoe makes the story, right?
Yeah,
And I never thought that I would say
exactly.
that I agree with you, but I also miss sneaker events. I was getting really tired of sneaker events. Like I was kind of dreading, like, yeah, we got to go, we got to show face. Oh, they want us to do a table. Like, how do we not do a table? But now I'm rejuvenated.
Yeah,
I really miss sneaker events. Maybe I just
true.
miss people,
Very
but
true.
it's yeah.
But
So,
don't you get anxiety just thinking about all those people in like that convention center
oh my God,
now?
yeah.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
it's crazy,
I heard that the
crazy.
Raptors are gonna have crowds, like they're gonna allow an audience in their Tampa Bay temporary home, and it just gave me like chills. I
Wild,
was like, "You're gonna let
wild.
3,800 people pack into an arena? I know it's meant for 30,000 people, and it's not a lot, but it's just no, I don't like that.
Still,
Yeah, no, it doesn't make me feel good. Um, but
I watch old movies that like people shake hands, and I get like, oh boy, what are you doing?
yeah,
You're not supposed to do that.
bro,
It's
it's
a movie
so
from
weird.
2004.
Yeah, it's so strange. Or I see like a
Yeah,
concert scene in a film or a
it's all.
commercial, and I'm like, oh, when was this filmed? What are they doing?
Nope.
Like it's But the reason that you're here, part of the reason that you're here, I should say, because there's more than one reason that you're here, is because you work for a brand called Quality. We've mentioned it several
Yeah.
times on the podcast in the past, and we now have a representative
Yeah.
from the brand, which is really cool. I personally don't own any pieces, but I do expect that to change in the very near future.
I know.
He
I know.
knows. He checked my order history. He checks the cuffs on my pants every time I wear pants, and he knows. But for anyone like me who is semi unfamiliar with the brand, give us like the 30-second rundown of Kuwalla, like what they're doing, how they started, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so my bosses are gonna probably listen to this episode. I really hope I don't screw it up too much. Not too many EEEs. But so it's essentially it's father. The father started Point Zero jeans in Quebec. So he
Oh,
brought jeans into Quebec.
Mm.
So they grew up in like factories bringing rolls of denim to production and stuff like that. They grew up in that. So when it came to them starting a company together, they started making T-shirts, 3 packs of T-shirts. So it's like a V-neck or crew neck, and then it's like black, white, gray, all black,
Staples.
all white. Very, very simple. And the bag for the 3 pack was made with the excess materials from the T-shirt, actually.
Oh,
So then they put a zip on it.
Mm.
That was how it was
Mm.
packaged. So they started with that, and then they were doing that as a private label for other companies. And then at one point, those companies asked to make chino joggers, and they said, "Oh yeah. Why haven't we done that yet? Like we've lived in that our whole lives. Let's go." So they started with the chino joggers. That absolutely blew up. So they said, "Okay, cool. We got something on our hands. We should make our own brand." And they started their own brand, and that's when from there it went to t-shirts, to denim, to chinos, to cargos, to jackets, now to like everything. So now they've been in business for 7 years, and I think Koala's been alive, I guess, for 5.
gotcha. And
Mm-hmm.
when did you join the brand, and like how did you join the brand?
So here comes another Alex tire pump. So I'm part of the big boy community, so I got big hockey
What?
legs. Yes, sir. I got big hockey legs, and when it came to wearing shoes, I'd always wear them with track pants with like baggy hockey stuff. So Alex started wearing some like more fitted clothing and shoes and pants. Sorry. And I was asking him like, where'd you get this from? I started going to H&M, nothing would fit. I go to Zara, nothing would fit. I actually ripped a pair of pants in a changing room. Um,
Big
putting
boy
my
house, bro.
putting my leg through it. I literally came out, told the girl like makes no sense, but whatever. So so he told me that was in the middle. I was in the middle of a school. I was doing a business program that I needed to do an internship at the end of it. So it's either you find your own or they place you somewhere. So they had me at doing customer service for a bank if I wanted to. So I was like, all right, perfect. And then pretty much at the same time, Alex told me like there's a company called Kuwalla. They're from Montreal. I'm sure if you email them, like they have like some sick clothing. I'm sure if you email them, they're new. The guys are super like responsive. They're super chill. I'm sure like they'll love to have you over to do the internship. So I emailed them on, I think it was like the Monday. On the Wednesday, I was there. On the Tuesday, I went to go buy a pair of the Koala pants at the Bay actually. So I walked in with a pair of pants, and that was like just from there. The designer that did the interview, his name's Yaniv. He interviewed me. He looked right away. He's like, nice. So
the cheat code.
Did the interview, and it was kind of like, all right, cool. When can you start? So I did a 6-week internship, and like it's a family. So the father still comes around, the mom comes. We have lunch together. Like at first, I was young. I wasn't sure. I wouldn't have lunch in the kitchen. Like I'd have lunch like by myself, or I would go out, and then like the father like cornered me. He's like, "Yo," he's like, "Come eat with us. Like, why aren't you eating with us? Let's go." Like you're working here. You're part of the family. So it's always been like a family aspect. We've always been like that. We were actually talking about it today. Like they never want to be like a military like office, so they want to be chill and relaxed, and as much as you can, like it's not like, oh, you're 5 minutes late, or you're gonna get you're gonna dock your pay or anything. It's always been that way. So I did the internship, and they offered me a job, and it's been downhill for 3 years. You guys see all the gray hair? That's from that.
I feel like you're using downhill wrong. It seems like you don't know the right definition of downhill, but
probably not. I meant it in a good way.
Yeah, uphill. I think uphill is the positive swing.
Uphill's hard.
Uphill is good though. You don't want to go downhill. Downhill. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm using it wrong.
Smooth sailing ever since.
There we go.
That way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and what do you do? Like, you don't have to get into your full job description, but what's your role at the brand as of now?
That's $1 million question right there. My position, I have no idea. But I do bit of everything. So whatever needs to be done kind of to the day-to-day, which is what I love the most about it, is that every day is different. So today I was integrating our whole system and everything to be able to sell to Nordstrom in the States.
Oh,
yeah, Macy's also. We're working with them too, working that out, ironing out the details. And lately, which is one thing that we are very happy about, is Foot Locker in Canada.
Yeah,
which is
plug.
Great.
Yeah.
So we are apparently the first ever brand to sell inside of Foot Lockers and not sell our own shoes.
Oh,
which is a very, very cool stat for us.
Interesting. Oh.
Yeah,
because you have your own shoes.
You do have your own shoes.
Yeah, we do.
We'll get into that in one half of a second, because I do want to just get into this really quickly. I feel like the thing you guys are synonymous for now is the joggers. Like you said, like the joggers is really what kind of kicked you guys off and set you guys up for where you are now. What kind of sets you apart in other senses from other streetwear brands? Like what is Kuwalla doing that other people aren't doing, and what's setting you guys apart?
I think why a lot of people gravitate towards Kuwalla a lot is the subtle branding. So, you'll have in your wardrobe, you'll have like the Nike hoodie with the swoosh, like you're wearing, Lawrence. Like you'll have the Adidas hoodie with like big stripes. But we're that complete opposite where we have a tiny little logo, which if you don't look right, you won't see it, right? So a lot of people like that for the subtle branding. So we have the chino joggers are super simple. Unless you've been working there for 3 years, it's very hard to see them on people. I'm able to snipe that out now finally. It's like kind of weird. Yeah, I think it's the subtle branding and like the superior comfort in like the denim too. Like sometimes you think about a pair of jeans, it's like putting on like 2 pieces of cardboard or like like sandpaper. Like all our denim has a lot of stretch in them. They're made to be worn like throughout the whole day. I used like and I'm the perfect advocate for that. I went to college here in Montreal and I did the whole semester, and I was proud to say that I didn't wear jeans for the whole semester. I wore track pants and sweatpants. But now I'd be the complete opposite. I'll put jeans on to go walk my dog outside. So they're really comfortable, and I personally love them, especially for my my shape. Like I have bigger legs and stuff like that. They're very comfortable for me, and they're comfortable for everybody else. So I think that's why people gravitate towards it.
That was a big testimonial there. But so
Yeah.
It seems like the brand has kind of become like synonymous with like sneakers in the sense that like at the same time chino joggers were getting big. That's when people like sneakerheads started wearing chino joggers with like the cuffed, like tapered bottoms so you could show the full shoe. Like you mentioned before that, track pants were like this big baggy mess with no cuff, no taper, nothing. Do you think that kind of like, was that the intent behind the brand? Was like, okay, we're going to cater to sneakerheads because this is perfect? Or was that kind of like an organic fusion by itself?
I think the company started. It was before my time, so I think they started with the chinos like a little bit before the whole sneakerhead hype with the chinos started. A little bit before, so you could say it did happen kind of organically. But we did have the colors the color chinos started following the collections. We started we follow because we're immediate and we produce fairly quickly compared to other bigger companies where like they'll book stuff for like a year in advance. We're able to follow the trends a lot more. So I'm thinking about like we had like a pair of pants that were like striped down the side. So we had like the white stripe, we had a red stripe, we had like a navy and burgundy stripe that looked that like really followed the trends and stuff. So I feel like that's one of the good parts about it is that we're very immediate, so we're able to either pivot or like follow the trends, and we're usually like ourselves like on point. So like this fall collection, we have a lot of browns, a lot of taupes, a lot of chocolate and cappuccino, like we call them, and it's very, very on brand with the colors that are coming out this year.
Huh. That's actually really interesting. Like, yeah, like you said, a lot of brands, specifically like boutiques and stuff, they're ordering stuff several seasons in advance. Like people booking for shoes right now are booking for next fall already. So it's kind of hard to forecast. But yeah, knowing like that you can just kind of switch at the flip of a button is like incredibly handy because fads seem to come and go like crazy right now. This year, I want to say, you guys introduced the sneaker. Well, it was I don't want to get it wrong, the Kuwalla like 001 or something like that. I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah. Yeah? Okay.
It was we called it the Arboreal.
Yes. Can you just tell us, I don't know how involved you were, even if you weren't that involved, just pretend like you were, about like kind of the process that goes into designing, creating, and mass producing a sneaker, and if we can expect some more is what I want to know mostly.
Yeah. That was wild too because it started a long time ago. It started when I was still in my internship. I was just about done my internship, so it's about 3 years ago. And they started talking about it, and they said like they always wanted to. Obviously, as sneakerheads, and they're sneakerheads as much as they love fashion, right? So everybody was talking about it, and I obviously wanted to. So when the initial meeting happened to talk about a shoe and talk about like a silhouette and how we're gonna do it, they asked me if I want to sit at the table with them.
Damn.
And, I flipped. I'm not gonna lie, I flipped. So it was cool to see the process of it and like the initial samples. Like we still have them in the office to show like how far like the process was. I think we have 3 or 4 samples, and like it's funny because like we're always like, okay, don't show these shoes to anybody because they look nothing like what they came out like. And it was also cool to learn a lot too. So the way our shoes made, we made it a very limited quantity, so we weren't able to we had to get like a little bit better materials. and stuff like that. So like it was cool to see the different processes. But yeah, I like to say that I was pretty involved. I had like, and it's like that for pretty much everything too. In the clothing we get, we'll get samples. Like today, we got beanies today,
Ooh.
so we got like a box of beanies. So we're looking at making. We made beanies before, so we're looking at remaking them because a lot of people are asking for them. So today we got beanies, and like we opened the box together. Okay, what do you think? And I have a giant head, so I'm the beanie tester. So
Let's go.
yeah, so like like we're looking at beanies, and I said like, oh, I like this color, I like that color. It's always like that, right? So any kind of sample that comes through the office, there's always like kind of like a round table of like, what do you guys think? Usually everybody kind of peppers in their opinions, and then we go from there. So for the sneaker, there was a few things that I was able to say like, hey, how about we do this? So the extra laces, I'll take credit for that one. I'll take 100% credit for that.
Hey.
That was me. I said we have to have extra colored laces, and they
Yep.
said like, all right, cool, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So that's one thing that I remember like vividly saying like we need to have that as a sneakerhead. Other thing we need is I needed to have 4 pairs. So that's pretty much it. 2 of each colorway. So
What's crazy,
I
and
wear 2 of them.
I guess we kind of might take it for granted, but like the extra laces to us is so like run of the mill. Like a sneakerhead opens a box and it's like, oh, this
Yeah.
extra pair of laces, it ends up in the bottom of the box, it ends up in a laces box, whatever. But to somebody who's not a sneakerhead, sending, I guess, a pair of extra laces is like, what do you need that for? It's got one in there.
Yeah.
Like it seems
that's
so
funny.
rudimentary, but yeah, like you said, like you kind of need a sneakerhead in the room to kind of give you those ideas. And you mentioning that the shoe was like around when you started, which was a couple of years ago, is when the process started.
Yeah.
That means it was really ahead of its time. Like I'll commend you guys just by looking at it. And if anybody wants to look at it, once again, it's called the Arboreal. Was it 001? I don't want to get it wrong, but it was something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 001.
The Arboreal
We have a review
001.
on Canada.sold.ca.
Yeah, there was a review on CanadaGotSold.ca number 1. But like
There's a great review.
they're very like trendy for the times right now. Like it's very Adidas Yeezy-esque, like 700 Wave Runner colors. Like it's well done.
Bulky shoe.
Bulky midsole, like the minimal branding. So I'll commend you guys on that 100%.
Yeah.
What
Will we see more? We've gotten more samples here and there ever since we released it. This whole COVID put a stop on them. I think we had a pair that we were looking at making that was going to look completely different than the one that we took out already. It was a little bit more simpler, a little bit like for like a more broader audience, I'd say. We're looking at colorways and stuff like that, but then this whole pandemic hit, so now I put the brakes on that. We focused more on the clothing for now. The shoes, as much as we love them, it's always been like, I would say a side project, but like kind of like a like a gravy on top of the mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's a great way to put it. What's kind of next for you, like personally at the brand? Like, where do you want to see yourself? I know you said you kind of do like everything. It's especially if it's a family run small business. I can imagine, I work for one as well, that you kind of just have your feet in everything, and wherever you're needed, you're kind of pulled in every which way direction. But where do you want to see yourself go in the future at the brand?
I don't see myself going like anywhere else. Like we've talked about it before. Like I think like Kuwalla is like it's a great, like I said, like it's a great family brand. So I don't see any like reason to go anywhere else. But with the company, it's just I'd love to be like. It's tough to say now with this whole pandemic because like you never know if it's ever gonna come back. But like I did the sneaker events, the sneaker con in Toronto. So I ran that. That was great. That was super fun. I love to get like the word out. I work a lot to try to get like some awareness out to like I work in like my realm, I guess, to NHL players. So I'm talking with them to try to get the name out. So as much as we're a great brand, if you don't know about us, you won't see our logos everywhere. So that's why that's one thing I always would love to work on the most, is to get the awareness out. So as much as like word of mouth is great, it's just like if you see the hoodie in the street, it doesn't say Kuwalla like plastered on top of it. So as much as the hoodies are comfortable, I want to get everybody in Kuwalla. And that's why like the testimonial part about it, like you said earlier, is probably the best seller. Like I worked at Reebok, I worked with Adidas too, and Like I love Kuwalla, and it's because it's comfortable. It's not because I work there. It's
Straight up.
It's definitely like
and
a
I feel like a
double.
lot of people that don't work there is like that.
It's definitely a double-edged sword in the sense that, like you said, it's minimal branding, which is what draws people to it, but it also isn't able to market itself unless somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey," like in the mall, and says, "Hey, what pants are you wearing, man?" Which it happens from time to time, but not super often, and definitely not in 2020. But
Exactly.
One of the major reasons you're here, we've been talking back and forth as a group with you and your squad for about a week and a half now, maybe 2 weeks. And you guys mentioned that you wanted to do something special for CGS to 2021. Do you want to give the announcement right now on what you guys are planning?
So we will be giving away a $200 gift card for the CGS to 2021 giveaways.
I'm entering, bro.
Yeah, see, the problem is that I'm going to win it because I need a pair of pants. So I apologize. I apologize in advance. Joel's pointing at itself. Big boy Joel wants a pair of stretchy denim as well.
Stretchy.
I'll definitely make the New Year's resolution that I will own at least one pair of Kuwalla joggers before the end of 2021 because, like I said, I've see them everywhere. I need to purchase a pair. I see them all over the place. Like
that's what I like.
Hell yeah.
You're sleeping, bro.
Bernard, I am sleeping and I am sleepy. But Brandon, Bernard, Mr. Menard, we thank you for being here. We thank you for that because that's hella exciting. That's the first of other prizes we are going to announce for CGS to 2021. But that's amazing. Sir. $200 to shop Kuwalla, shop to your heart's extent. It's not overly expensive product. It's good quality shit, and you can get quite a bit for $200. That's a good that's a good chunk of stuff. That's a full fit for $200, which you can't say for a lot of brands. But Brandon, thank you for being here. Thank you for that gracious donation. We do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in person at the next shoe haul. I guess would be the goal.
I'd love to.
Absolutely.
I'd love to. At a safe distance.
At a safe distance. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we'll have a Kuwalla pop up at Shoe Hall 3 Hall. We'll see. That would be a good idea.
Let's do it.
He put it into my head too. Alvin, he put it into my head too. When he said that he did SneakerCon, I was like, okay, so we could okay.
I'd love to. We spoke about it last time. I just couldn't come.
Now the wheels are starting to turn. Brandon, once again, thank you for everything. This was dope. We appreciate you.
It's all downhill from here.
From here. Thank you, Brandon, and thank you everyone who has supported and or been a part of the podcast. Wherever you're taking in the episode, please leave a comment, review, follow, and or subscribe. We've got a Facebook group used as a forum, sell stuff, and connect with you guys called CGS Talk. Find it on facebook.com/groups/cgs.talk. We've also got a website we use for reviews, recap stories, and lots of Kuwalla recaps and reviews and stories called CanadaGotSold.ca. Do not forget to use hashtag CanadaGotSold on Instagram for a feature. I have been Lawrence Hopkins. You can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram. Woof.
I'm Joel Hernandez. You can find me at Joe Dooney, JO_D3OsNEY.
My name is Alvin Quincy, and you can find me at MISTERQ and then Mars.
And Brandon, where can they find you?
My name is Brandon, not Bernard. It's B Menard MENARD .Kuwalla on Instagram.
Oh,
you guys can also follow the quality account, so that's Quality. Check out the latest stuff. We have a giveaway going on there. I'm not gonna say more. You guys can go on and find out.
Yeah, go check yourself. Go check yourself, you dummies.
Yes,
and thank you for listening to us talk about sneakers for 141 episodes. And please remember to rock your kicks. And this is typically where I would throw in the music, but it is our last episode of the year. So we do just want to say thank you guys for 151. 151. What did I say?
141.
That's not important right now.
Time.
I do want to say thank you to everyone who has supported us for the year. It's been a crazy year, tons of ups and downs. We were in person, we were remote, we were in person again, and then we were remote again. We were on YouTube for a bit, we were off YouTube for a bit. So, like, from the bottom of our hearts, like, we thank you. This is one of the most successful years for Canada Got Soul through it all. So we love all you guys for supporting us. We hope that everyone stays safe. We hope that everyone has a happy and healthy holiday. Wherever you're celebrating, however you're celebrating, make sure you do it responsibly. Make sure you wash your hands. Make sure you wear a mask. break a tradition this year.
Make sure you wear
that-
Kuwalla.
Make sure you wear Kuwalla.
Yeah.
Just as important as a mask, some would argue. But make sure if you're going to break a tradition this year, but you're going to be able to continue that tradition for years to come, because you were responsible this year. So, once again, thank you for listening to us talk about sneakers for 151 episodes. And please remember to rock your kicks. This has been True to Size. We have been Canada Got Soul and Brandon Kuwalla, and we are out for the year. Peace. Boom. Brandon, that was dope. Thank you, man. That was really, really cool.
Good. Thanks a lot. You guys were talking about Ronnie. Everything he takes out is sick. He actually bit us.
Oh, really?
He copied one of our plaid bombers and one of our pair of like vintage cargo pants.
Really?
Like this the same
Oh,
thing.
you know what?